takes a couple minutes. You know how it goes.
It's a dreary day in New York.
It's a dreary, kind of a rainy day. I'm zooming in on these waxes and ta-da!
Hello.
It may be a dreary day, but you just brought sunshine to a lot of people.
Aw, that's so cute. That's so cute. Happy Friday, guys.
Awesome.
We're back at the Purple Painted Lady. If you don't know me, my name's Courtney. Trish is behind the camera.
Of course they know you.
And we're back to do another live demo, tutorial, chat session.
How to, interactive.
How to, whatever this turns into. As our event description said, we're going to do some glazes today using the wax from Annie's chalk paint line.
What do you mean by glazes?
We're going to, okay, so the wax, I can show you this one. The wax is pretty thick on its own. It's a lot like Crisco consistency.
Oh, or thick, almost like fudge that's setting up.
Yes.
Because it is fairly, unless you're working in a really warm environment, right? It's kind of thick.
Mm-hmm. So what you can do though is if you add a little bit of odorless mineral spirits to your wax, it's going to thin it out a little bit. So whether you are just uncomfortable working with the wax at its full consistency, some of our customers have said it's a little too thick for them, for their taste, you can do this. Or if you're looking to create kind of a lighter effect, you can use the mineral spirits to thin it as well. But another great technique is also to use it for staining wood.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're gonna,
I'm going to let you carry on, but do you mind, you know the Arl's cabinet door behind you in the metal milk box? Will you grab that and grab the duck egg one with the primer red as a base beneath it? Okay, because these are examples of cabinet doors that you have done a dark wax glaze on.
Yes.
So by doing a glaze, it actually just works like a toner. So
yes.
You can reference that at any point in time. I just wanted you to have those available.
Okay. Here. So we had a couple customers in a couple of our videos ask about the glazes and how versatile they are. So we just wanted to come on and show you guys, one, using it directly over the chalk paint, using it on raw wood, which we actually did a Facebook Live where we stained the top of a table using the dark wax. So that is also on our Facebook page if you want to check that out.
Where we mixed it with the mineral spirits?
Where we mixed it with some of the mineral spirits. Put it over the top of the table, wiped it off. I think we also did Miss Mustard Seed on the bottom of that table.
Yeah, you actually did that video and it's saved on YouTube. Hey,
it's on YouTube.
Diane, if you can grab a couple paint sticks for us at any point, thanks. So awesome. Okay, so those videos where you've already done that and that table came out awesome, and it's actually still at my house, which we want to bring back here.
Yeah.
That was using the dark wax with the mineral spirits.
Yep.
So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Absolutely. So we're gonna start off with the raw wood, just so you guys can see how that works. So I think we'll start with the popular of the two waxes, which is the dark wax. So the dark wax is a brown tinted wax. It's really great for making something look older, or if you're using a bright tone such as Emperor Silk, it's great for actually toning down that color. So if you're not sure you like how bright it is, you can use this wax to tone it down just a smidge. So I have a little bit of mineral spirits in this bottle. I do have another bottle ready in case I need it. And typically I start off with less mineral spirits and see where I get going. You want to make sure that you make enough of a glaze for your entire project at one time, because if you make a second portion, you're halfway through your project and it's thicker or thinner than the first glaze that you made, you will notice the difference in the finished product.
So if you got a big project, plan it out ahead. Use measuring spoons or measuring cups. Write down that recipe, and then you can just make more. So yeah, but good point. Very good point.
So I'm just going to put a little bit in here.
Does that stuff smell? Ooh.
I mean, it smells.
It says it's odorless and some.
It says it's odorless. It's not odorless. You should probably use this more outdoors, or at least with a fan going, ventilation. But I don't think it's that bad. No. I use it in the shop all the time.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, but some brands of odorless mineral spirits are more odorless than others.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We like this one. Can you hold that up again?
This is called Clean Strip.
Yep, this one here, you can find this, I think, at most Lowe's, except it comes in a metal container, I think.
Yep.
And you can get these, we sell them for the same price as Walmart.
Yep.
Walmart has them available at the big box stores. But you want to make sure, what's the difference between this and the environmentally green kind.
The environmentally green kind, if you're using it to clean, doesn't clean as well as this kind of mineral spirits. So you could leave some of that grease and grime on the cabinet still, and you want to make sure it's really clean.
Also, the environmentally green comes in a white container.
Oh, yes.
And it is white. And so more importantly, for this demo that we're doing, you don't want to use the white environmentally green mineral spirits, because when you mix that with your wax, it's going to come out to be like a frothy milkshake, and you're not going to get the same outcome.
Milkshakes are good.
So do not use the environmentally green mineral spirits.
Yeah. I'm going to use one of these paint sticks.
Oh, good idea. Glad we brought them.
I know. Woohoo. So I'm just going to use a paint stick now, and I'm just going to kind of swish my wax in there. It's going to seem like it's not going to incorporate right away, but if you just keep stirring, I promise you it'll turn into a glaze. I have to scrape off my paint stick.
Yeah, no, take your time. And there's no right or wrong way of doing this. So you can... kind of flipping around. Hi, no makeup, wasn't planning this, but there's really no right or wrong way of making the glaze, or I should say glaze loosely, because all we're doing is thinning the wax. But I always stress that all of Annie's products are artisan products in the sense that they're, we want you to experiment, and for the most part, really, if you love the outcome of what you created, then you did it right, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, what else do we want to talk about while you're mixing that up? It's sort of a trial and error. So she put some mineral spirits in there, but she may need to add more, because let me just flip this around.
You want to take a look at it?
So right now it's sort of like pudding that's sort of setting up, where when I did those 2 cabinet doors, and if you want, afterwards you can leave them up here.
Yeah.
But when I did the Arles door and the Arle door and the duck egg over primer red, I made it thinner. Yeah, the glaze was definitely more like I refer to it as thin pancake batter.
Yes.
So that's definitely getting more along the lines of it. It's probably very difficult to see because it's down in there.
It's a mason jar.
No, you're using a mason jar. You could use a plastic cup. It's going to be easier doing this, I think, in some type of controlled space versus just on a paper plate, especially if you have a big project, because the paper plates, even though they have sort of a wax coating, is going to get softened, and it can be a little messy.
Yeah, it can be.
So we like to use, and if you do it in a mason jar, you can put the lid on it afterwards, and even if it gets a little hard, you can just add some more mineral spirits. It doesn't matter if it's months down the line.
Yeah. So I do have some chunks left in there, but for the most part, it's really nicely incorporated. So.
Courtney, you have about 61 people tuned in watching you this morning.
61 people.
So we have Ann Sinclair.
Ann, how are you?
Awesome. Pam Evans says she's excited to learn this. Marianne, who always goes to our Syracuse location.
Yeah.
And sees Karen. So hello, Marianne.
Yes. Hello, Marianne. Probably hi, Karen. Karen usually watches this nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to show you both the black and the dark. So both of these sample boards, I don't know if you can see the tape on the camera, but I ran out of painter's tape in Macedon. So we have some packaging tape.
Hey,
showing
make it work.
I know, it works. It's tape.
So this is the brown, this is the dark wax, which is brown, correct?
It's brown.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm using a chip brush.
We love those.
I love this brush.
We have those on our website and in our stores.
They're just really inexpensive brushes. I think I use them in Facebook Lives a lot. You guys are probably used to seeing me use them.
Okay, so you're just putting this dark wax that you thin directly on raw wood.
Yes,
directly on raw wood. We have a video, like you said, you did a farmhouse table.
Yep. And
that's out on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so go check that out. That turned out real nice.
This is definitely a viable option for many applications. So we have a customer, her name's Karen. She is a retired Wall Street broker in New York City, and they have a hunting cabinet, a hunting cabin, and they have like a mudroom entrance, and she really didn't want to invest a lot of money. So they just took plywood, laid it down, and then she took the dark wax, made a glaze, and stained it. And she says it's worked out wonderful.
Yeah.
This is very pretty.
This is great. I love this.
Does it matter how you remove this?
I find it doesn't usually matter. Whatever the wood soaks up, it's going to soak up. The only thing is if you have it in crevices, like if you have knots in a table or little cracks in the wood, just make sure if you don't want it stuck in there that you get it out.
With your rag? What rag are you using, and what does it matter?
Yeah, I'm using a blue Scott shop towel for this. Usually we use these for any waxing just because it doesn't have any lint in it. So when you're waxing, you don't get any white hairs, or like if you're using the red shop towels that they have now, you don't get any of those in there. They're really strong paper towels, so no matter when you're waxing, they don't disintegrate. On raw wood, though, I think on your table we actually use better than cheesecloth. Which is also a really good option. Usually only used on like whites.
Okay, so we have all of that on our website and in our stores.
We do.
So the Scott shop towels, that's like $3 for a roll of 50 sheets. They're better than paper towel, and they're less expensive, at least here in the Northeast when we look at things. So okay, so that was the dark wax glaze. I'm excited to see the black once you get to it. No rush.
Do you want to go?
Nope, you're in charge. Whatever order you want to do it, you do it. So
let's stick with the dark wax first. That way I don't confuse you guys by going back and forth. So now on this board, my lovely assistant Hannah was nice enough to paint pure white chalk paint on here. The chalk paint by Sloan, color pure. 2 coats, and we did not apply wax. So this is just a chalk paint straight. I did have a customer, I think her name was Karen. She was asking me about if I apply a glaze instead of just the dark wax over just chalk paint, will I get the same effect as the dark wax, or will I see a lesser of effect? So she wanted to know and see it personally.
Okay, and I don't want to stop you, but I have a couple quick questions, and I just want to catch everybody up. So tell us again, what is the point of, what are you doing today? You're making a glaze, and how did you just do that?
Yeah, we're making a glaze with Annie's chalk paint wax. We're using dark and black clears just there for the fun of it. And we're mixing some odorless mineral spirits in with it to thin it out.
Okay, here's a question. You have the clear wax here.
Yeah.
Would you ever make a clear wax glaze, or did you just put that out?
I would not make a clear wax glaze. I have it out for a cabinet door. Yeah, there's really no reason.
That's right. You're going to do that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to wax the cabinet door.
Okay, so you used the odorless mineral spirits. You mixed it with Annie's chalk paint wax in the dark color.
Yep.
You did, what was your ratio?
It was about a 1-to-1.
About a 1-to-1 ratio. You could actually go even a little bit heavier on the mineral spirits. It really comes down to creating an aesthetic, an outcome that you like.
Yes, whatever you want.
We sometimes use the analogy that a glaze is sort of like getting, I'm going to stop this for a second. Switch over. So obviously I have these crazy highlights. Many people would get highlights, and then their hairstylist would come back and put a toner over their hair to sort of tone down all these bright colors. I'm odd. I don't do that. However, the whole concept of a dark wax glaze is similar to when you get your hair done and you have the stylist put a toner over the highlights you just got, and it takes sort of the bright color and just sort of softens them a bit. And that's the same analogy of maybe using a dark wax glaze.
Gotcha. I like that analogy. Okay.
Well, I think it makes sense, and I'm just going to, again, just show everybody. Yeah. So this was a cabinet painted with Arl, and this has a dark wax glaze on it.
Yes.
It just tones the color down a little bit, and we sort of left some of the thicker bits of the dark wax in the corner. So it's just another way versus using the dark wax straight out of the tin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So now we got the dark wax glaze on my favorite chip brush, and we're going to go over just the chalk paint. There's no clear wax on this board.
Okay, so let's say a customer is watching this. Sorry, you have that right there. Okay. So a customer's watching and they're like, I have a bathroom vanity. Would you recommend this approach in the sense of, does it change the protection by not having the additional layer of clear wax, or by thinning your dark wax?
Yes, we would prefer that if you're doing kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, definitely do some clear wax before you go into the dark or the black. It really helps, even if you have, especially if you have children or dogs that jump up on cabinets. Or husbands with greasy hands. It really helps to have a clear wax base, because if you get anything on those cabinets, if something stains them, it's really easy to just take the clear wax right over that area, remove whatever's on there, and then go on with your life instead of having to repaint entirely.
So it does help to have that extra layer of protection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and to the side of the board with the dark wax glaze.
And these were just rough pieces of sort of skid wood.
Yeah, these are just skid wood. I do have a cabinet door that will do a nice one for you guys. I just wanted to show you with raw wood staining and with just over the chalk paint.
Can we do the black wax with a little bit more mineral spirits so people can see maybe it a little thinner? Because this is one application, but just to show them that they could have less.
The differences in
yeah. And I just want to reiterate that it comes down to how much use your piece is going to really be receiving if you're going to be applying maybe the clear wax prior. We typically would.
Yes.
But you don't have to.
We typically recommend you do it, but again, it's like it's an artisan paint. You have to kind of go with your inspiration and what you want to go for.
So Court, we're using Annie Sloan's chalk paint wax and we're making these glazes.
Yep.
But could you do this over other paint lines? Can you do this over, let's start with milk paint.
Yeah. Okay, so over milk paint, absolutely. Milk paint is a nice porous paint, just like the chalk paint, so it'll receive the wax. It won't receive it exactly as the chalk paint does, but it will receive it. We can do it.
It'll respond really nicely with it?
Yeah. Over a latex or acrylic-based paints, we really can't guarantee you're going to see any difference. The latex and acrylic-based paints have a top coat built into them. So instead of having a nice porous surface to work with, it's going to soak in